Let's start today's video with a heart-touching story. This story is about a 42-year-old male, Mr. Moitra, who is a working professional. Since last couple of days, he has been feeling feverish on and off with some abdominal pain, discomfort, nausea. He used to take local medicines from a local doctor or a pharmacist, or sometimes used to do home remedies, get symptomatically better, only to fall sick again. This kept happening many times. Lately, he realized that his appetite has reduced. He's often complaining of constipation or diarrhea, and he has lost significant weight. So he thought that he should get himself checked and hence took a leave and visited a specialist doctor. Doctor, after listening to his complaint, gave him battery of tests and asked him to follow up with the reports of the test. He went to the lab and he realized that the lab tests were very expensive. So he thought he would do it next month after the salary. But after a few days, say about 3 to 4 days, one day in the morning while he was passing stool, he saw a lot of blood. He got panicked. He immediately contacted his doctor. Doctor asked him to get admitted and do the test. He did so. That whole day while he was admitted in the hospital, many lab tests, CT scans, colonoscopy, many tests were done. Doctor asked him to wait till the reports come the next day. With all these happening, Mr. Moitra got really confused and scared. Till yesterday, everything was fine. He was at home working, just a bit weak. But today, he's admitted in the hospital and so many tests were happening. That night, he was really scared. He couldn't sleep. He kept reminding himself that it's just might be just some case of piles or some bad infections or food infections or something. But he could not escape the thought that what if something goes wrong? What if something severe would come in the reports? Should he tell his son, who is in the college, who is in hostel, and is completely unaware of what is happening to his father? What would happen if anything goes wrong? What would happen to his family? How will they deal with this? He kept thinking about all positive and negative things, and that night he just couldn't sleep. Next day in the morning, the doctors came and they asked Mr. Moitra to call his wife because they had to discuss the reports. Mr. Moitra could sense that there is something wrong. He observed a grim look on the faces of the doctors. At that same instant, he got the hint that there is something wrong. Nevertheless, Mr. Moitra called his wife, the reports were discussed, and the doctors told him that he had colorectal cancer and that too advanced stage with metastasis. With those words, Mr. Moitra got stunned. He just couldn't believe it. He asked the doctors to check again whether the reports are wrong, whether the reports got misplaced with some other person's report. But the doctors said they have checked it twice. It's unfortunate, but it's true that he has cancer. In that moment, the whole world of Mr. Moitra got collapsed. He had no idea what to think, what to do. He was just sitting and was shocked. After taking some time, he asked just one question to his doctors. Doctor, I have no family history of cancer. I never smoked. I never drank alcohol. Then why me? Why I had cancer? How is it possible? Doctor gave him a couple of possibilities, gave him a couple of causes. And after listening to those causes, Mr. Moitra just started crying. And he said he never knew or he couldn't have imagined that food can also cause cancer. Yes, food. Well, I'm sure it might come as a shock for many of you as well, just like it did for Mr. Moitra. But it's true. But few food items, which many of us are taking unknowingly on a regular basis, can cause cancer. Only thing is we are not aware of him and we are taking it regularly, and that is increasing our chance or our risk of having cancer in future. So in today's video, I am going to discuss with you, I am going to tell you the list of the food items which are labeled as cancer causing food items, and if you are consuming them, it's a request, stop taking them from today itself so that you can save yourself from the deadly disease like cancer. So watch this video till the end and learn about the cancer causing food items. Just a point before we start, Food that can cause cancer either have some harmful substances that have the capacity to cause cancer, that is carcinogen, or increases the risk of obesity or diabetes, which are linked with some type of cancers. So, with this note, let's start. The first is processed meat. This includes bacon, ham, sausages, salami, daily sliced chicken, etc. WHO has labeled processed meat as category 1 cancer causing agent. Why? Because of the way meat is processed. For those who are not aware of how processed meat is prepared, meat is cured, smoked, fermented, salted to preserve them. In addition to it, many chemical preservatives are also added, like nitrites or nitrates, which are also carcinogenic. Also, smoking of meat causes production of chemicals like N-nitroso compounds and polycyclic aromatic carbons, and they are also carcinogens. So, eating processed meat as less as 50 grams per day regularly can also increase your risk of stomach or colorectal cancer by at least 18%. So, how can you reduce your risk? First, avoid eating it at all. Try cooking fresh meat at home if you like meat that much. Second, alternatively, you can try white fish, white meat such as chicken or turkey, or meat substitutes such as tofu. Second is red meat. Red meat includes beef, lamb, mutton, goat, and pork. WHO labeled red meat as class 2A carcinogenic, which means probably carcinogenic to humans. The risk of colorectal cancer increases by 12% with every 100 grams per day of red meat intake. Meat contains heme iron, which can induce production of N-nitroso compounds, which are known carcinogen. High red meat consumption may lead to pancreatic and prostate cancers as well. So, how can you reduce your risk? First, avoid eating at all if you can. Second, otherwise recommended safe limit of intake is less than 100 grams per week. Alternatively, you can use beans, white meat, or fish for your protein sources. The third one is charred meat. Now, who doesn't like barbecued chicken? But you would be surprised to know that meats cooked at high temperature or charred are linked to increased risk of cancer. Cooking meat at high temperature over a flame, that is barbecuing, grilling, or pan frying, can lead to production of carcinogenic agents such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons (PAH) and heterocyclic aromatic amines, that is HAA. These substances may damage DNA and increase cancer risk. Charred meat consumption increases your risk of stomach and colorectal cancer. How can you reduce your risk? Number one, avoid prolonged cooking times. Number two, remove charred portion of meat. Number three, continuously turn the meat over on a high flame or heat sources. Fourth, avoid direct contact of meat to open flame. Now moving on to the fourth cancer causing food items, you will be surprised by this name. This is deep fried food. Regular intake of selected deep fried food like french fries, fried fish, fritters, papad, donuts is linked with prostate cancer risk. The substances acrylamide is produced in larger quantities during deep frying food, especially for the food with high carb content like potatoes and refined flour, etc. Acrylamide is labeled as a high probability carcinogen by IARC, that is International Agency for Cancer Research. My advice: number one, limit the quantity and frequency of fried food consumption, however tempting they are. Second, avoid reheating oil for frying purposes. Now, moving on to the fifth cancer causing food, it is sugar sweetened beverages. Sugar sweetened beverages like sodas, colas, and processed juices can directly increase your cancer risk. They are high in calories, and regular consumption can lead to weight gain or obesity. Obesity is a known risk factor for developing many cancers, including colorectal, liver, prostate, multiple myeloma, esophageal cancer, endometrial cancer, and breast cancer. And how can you reduce your risk? Limit refined sugar intake, that is not more than 10 to 15 grams per day. Try natural sweet food items like fruits, dates, and jaggery if you have a sweet tooth. Moving on to the sixth food item, processed food or fast food. Fast food like chips, Pasta, pastries, burger, french fries, frozen food, spreads like creams and margarines often contain high fat, sugar, salt levels and lack vitamins, fiber and micronutrients. Readily available fast food tend to be energy dense and are often consumed in large proportions as they are absolutely tasty, no doubt. But when consumed regularly, they can put anyone at an increased risk of diabetes and obesity. As we already know, obesity can directly increase the risk of few cancers. Also, processed food are added with many coloring agents, flavors, emulsifiers to make them taste better, look attractive, and last long. All these agents are carcinogenic. My advice? Try it for taste once in a while and share the portion with your friends or family to reduce the portion size. That is, limit portion size and frequency. Moderation is the key. Seventh food item is very hot beverages. Hey, tea and coffee lovers, there is a word of caution for those who love their drink piping hot. Drinking beverages such as tea, coffee, or hot chocolates at high temperature, that is higher than 64 degrees Celsius, it is linked with increased risk of esophageal cancer. Advice? Let it cool a bit and then enjoy your heaven. Eighth food item is canned food. Canned food has become very popular among young people as it's ready to eat, it's convenient to carry, and eat it wherever you want, wherever you want. But there is something we must know about these canned food. Besides being convenient, most canned food containers are lined with bisphenol A, that is BPA. This chemical substance, as we all know, is linked to cancer and other health problems. Also, surprisingly, BPA has a structure similar to human estrogen hormone, hence can also attach the estrogen receptors and cause hormonal imbalances like PCOD. My advice? Simple. Say no to packaged food and go for fresh food. So I hope you have made the list of all food items which can cause cancer, which have carcinogenic activity. So I request you not to consume them and keep yourself away from these cancer causing food items as much as possible. So if you like today's video, I'm pretty much sure you will also like my video on superfoods which have anti-cancer property which can prevent cancer. So together, this video and that superfoods against cancer can help you fight cancer and prevent it. So watch that video today itself and increase your chances of living a cancer-free life. That's all for today's video. We'll see each other again with similar health-related content. Till then, namaste.